Hello.
Daniela, how are you today?
Fine. Always working.
You were working, and how was your day?
Relax. No. I don't know how to say. Tan pesado.
So it was relaxed.
It was relax. Okay.
It
Today
was
for
relaxing.
relax.
Okay. So that's pretty good. So thank you for letting me know. Okay, welcome to the class. Hello, Luis. Welcome.
Hello, Christian. How are you?
How are you today?
I'm fine. Fine.
Okay, that's something good. What about your day? How was it?
It was okay. My kids are a little bit sick, so they didn't went to the school, and
Oh,
I took care of them all day.
okay. Okay, so I'm really sorry because of your kids. So I hope they feel better, but really soon, okay, or very soon. And well, that's something really good from you that you took care of them, okay? So did you give medicines to them?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, that's
With
something
the
real.
kids, you have to give them medicine really
Yeah.
fast, so it's more delicate for them.
Yeah, that's really true, okay? So they are very dedicated and you have to be really careful with the things that also with the medicines that you give to them.
Yep.
But okay, that's something good from you, Louis. So you took care of them, and well, I really hope that they feel well soon. Okay,
Thanks.
everybody, you're welcome. Let me text your classmates, and then we are going to start. So let's see. Hi. Um, Okay, very good. We are going to start with our class now. So Daniela, Luis, thank you for coming on time to our class today. Well, today, as you know, it's our last day of the week. So let's do our best in all the activities. Today, to start with our class, let me show you what is our topic for today's class. Give me a second. Okay, as you can see, today's class, it's about the frequency adverbs. Maybe you already studied this topic, but we will try to practice a little bit more with practice, with some activities. I'm sorry. So with some activities, with speaking practices, and also with some grammar exercises. So before we start, let's do a survey. Okay, do you have healthy habits, everyone? Do you have healthy habits? As you can see, we have two questions. Number one, do you have healthy habits? Number two is, are you in shape? So right now, please, let's answer the questions according to according to you, okay? So remember, you have to tell me your own answer. For example, in number one, we have three sentences. I exercise regularly. I hardly ever exercise. I never exercise. So you have to tell me your own answer. For example, my own answer is I hardly ever exercise. Okay, that's my answer. Now, please practice, okay? And tell me what are your answers, okay? In this moment, you have 2 minutes to complete the survey, okay? 2 minutes to complete the survey. So go ahead. Please take notes of your answers, okay? Take notes of your answers. So number one, letter A or letter B. So go ahead. Okay. So number one.
The number three have a question or Only answer.
Oh, only answers. So you have to write, for example, you write number 1 and what is your answer, okay?
Okay.
Very good. Okay, let's see. Hello, Malcolm, welcome. Let's see. Okay, Malcolm, thank you for letting me know, okay? Thank you for being here. So right now we are completing the sort. Let's see. Okay, well, I finished to complete this. Right now, Daniela, did you finish? Yes, very good. Luis, did you finish?
Yes, I finished.
Yes, very good. Okay, so everybody, let's check our answers. Okay, so in number 1, I hardly ever exercise. What about you, Luis? What is your answer in number 1?
I exercise. Sorry. I exercise regularly.
Okay, that's something really good. So thank you for your answer. What about you, Daniela? What was your answer in number 1?
I hardly ever exercise. B.
Okay, letter B, very good. So Luis, letter A, Daniela, letter B, very good. Then in number 2, let me see, guys. Okay, in number 2, I always sleep 6 hours or more. Okay, actually, I sleep around 7 hours, I guess. Okay, so around 6 or 7 hours. What about you, Daniela?
I usually sleep 5 hours.
Oh, 5
And the B.
hours.
Yes. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
letter B. Very good. Okay, Luis, what is your answer?
Same as Daniela. I usually sleep 5 hours or more.
Okay, well, that's something nice. Thank you for your answers. Then in number 3, I have them. See, I sometimes eat junk food. Okay, what about Luis? What is your answer?
And the same. I sometimes eat junk food.
Okay, nice. And what about you, Daniela? Same answer?
And me too. I sometimes eat junk food. Letter B.
Okay, so letter B. Okay, so same answer. The 3 of us, the same answer. Right? We sometimes eat junk food. Okay, let's go to number 4. Let me see. Okay, in number 4, I hardly ever eat sweets or candies. Remember, sweets is for British English and candies is for American English. So I hardly ever eat sweets. I don't like candies very much, okay? So what about you, Daniela? What is your answer?
Letter B. I sometimes eat sweets.
Okay,
Yes, I
and
like
what
it.
you like? Well, that's something good. What about you, Luis? What's your answer?
Letter A. I hardly ever eat sweets.
Okay, so do you like candies, Luis, or not very much?
Yes, I like it, but I try to avoid it.
Okay, well, that's something really good. And then we have number 5. So I have everybody, I watched a lot of TV. So I like to watch TV, but because of Netflix and Disney Plus. So because of those apps. What about you, Daniela? What is your answer?
Letter A. I hardly ever watch TV. I like to watch my computer, but TV never see.
That's nice. So you prefer watching on your computer, right? So do you use a streaming apps like Netflix and Disney?
No, I use Cuevana.
Ah, okay. Well, that's also something good. Okay. I remember I watched many movies at Cuevana or some other websites. So I started with those. Okay. So now I can see, I continue watching movies over there, but not very often. What about you, Luis? What is your answer?
I sometimes watch TV.
Okay, that's nice. So, and what about you? What do you like watching on TV, Luis?
Yeah, same as you, just Netflix or Disney Plus.
Okay, so that's something really
I
good. So,
I don't
uh-huh.
watch like cable TV. I don't like it. So just streaming apps.
And do you have cable?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I don't have cable and I don't have also the TV channels. So that's why I only use the streaming apps.
I have cable,
Okay.
but I don't like it.
Okay. So, well, at least you can see, okay, some other apps. Well, as you can see over here, we will see what is our score. If you have A answers, so you have 10 points. Per each B answer, you have 5 points, and per each C answer, you have 0 points. Okay, so right now let's see your numbers. Okay, so I have my result, guys. Okay, this is my result. So Chris, yeah, let me see another color, blue. Okay, so according with my answers, everybody, I have 30 points. Okay, so let's see, Luis, how many points do you have?
35.
35. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's a good result. What about you, Daniela? How many points do you have?
30 points. Okay.
30.
Yes.
Okay, good. 30 points. So, well, Daniela 30, Luis 35, and Christian 30. As you can see, okay, well, the three of us are in, okay, Malcolm, if you complete this, you can write on the chat if you can, okay, your result, okay? So as you can see, we are in this category. We are in the not bad category. So as you can see, okay, so we are not in shape. In shape, remember, so we are fitness people. So no, guys, we are not, okay? But we are not that bad, okay? So we are not that bad as you can do more or as you are a coach potato. So a coach potato, a very lazy person that doesn't like to do anything, okay? But we are not in that category. We are in not bad, okay? We can do better, yes. We can improve our habits, yes, but we are not doing too bad, or we are not too bad, okay, in this area. Well, as you can see, okay, in this survey that we completed, we are talking about activities that we do and the frequency of these activities, or how many times do you do these activities, for example, in a week, in a month, or in a year? And that's our topic for today. Remember, today we are talking about frequency adverbs or adverbs of frequency, okay? So let's pay attention to it. Remember, when we are talking about frequency adverbs, we are talking about how often we do an activity, okay? Or the frequency of an activity. Let's pay attention to it. Please, Daniela, read the example and the structure.
You never go running in the morning. Subject plus Adverbs of frequency plus verb plus complement.
Nice job. Okay. Now, as you can see in this structure, okay, so we have one color per each part of the sentence. So we have the subject, the adverb of frequency, the verb, and then we have the complement. Now, please, Luis, help me
I
reading.
can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So as you see, we have one color per each part of the sentence, okay? Now, please, let's pay attention to Luis. Luis, please read this information about adverbs of frequency.
Okay. We place the frequency adverb before the verb in the simple present tense.
Very good. As you remember, as you remember the simple present, okay, we have a structure for it. We have the subject, then the verb, and then the complement. Oops, then the complement. But in this case, as you can see, we have to use the adverb of frequency between, okay, between the subject and the verb. So we use the adverb of frequency in the middle. So we say, I always, I never, or as you can see in the example, you never go running in the morning. So let's see adverb of frequency, okay? So it happens, guys, anytime we are talking about an action, okay? If we have a verb, so we use the adverb of frequency, frequency adverb before the verb. But if you have the verb to be, we have to use it after the verb to be. So for example, okay, so verb to be, and then we have frequency adverb. For example, you can say, and you can tell me, I am always happy. I am always happy. So as you see, we use subject, verb to be, and then we use the frequency adverb, okay? So this is the only difference when we use a verb and when we use the verb to be. But it is also in simple present. Remember, we always use the frequency adverbs in simple present, okay? Let's continue with our next part. Hello, Fernando, how are you today?
Hey, I'm happy. It was a great day.
Okay, I'm so happy to listen to it. Welcome. Let's continue right now and pay attention to our frequency adverbs. These are some examples of frequency adverbs. We had more, but these are the most common ones. Please listen to Fernando. Okay, Fernando, help me reading the frequency adverbs. You start in 100%.
100% always. 90% usually. 70% often. 50% sometimes. 30% occasionality. 5% hardly ever. And 0% never.
Okay, thank you. As you
Continue
can
with examples or
oh no, right now only the frequency adverbs. So thank you, Fernando. That was a great job. As
okay.
you can see, okay, when we talk about the frequency adverbs, they have a percentage, okay? So we can say 0% is an activity you don't do, okay? So you don't do. Hardly ever, it's something that you do, but not many times. Just a couple of times or few times. Then occasionally and sometimes, then we are talking about some times or some opportunities we do different activities. Then in often and usually we have, more frequency of an activity or more repetitions of an activity. And then always it's something that we can say that it happens every day or happen every period of time. Okay, let's read right now together our examples. Please, Luis, help me with example number 1.
I always play video games.
Nice job. Okay, so we are talking about an activity that I do maybe every day or maybe every period of time. Okay, but is repeated. Okay, so I have a repetition of this activity. Then we have our next example. Help me with this one, Fernando. Number 2.
He hardly ever does exercise.
Good pronunciation and good fluency, boy. Thank you. Daniela, help me with example number 3.
We never drink alcohol.
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 Alcohol. Okay.
Alcohol. Okay.
Very good. Remember, generally, not all the time, but most of the time, when we have a letter H, it sounds like a J in Spanish. Okay, so hello, how are you? Okay, so we have ham. And over here we have alcohol. Okay, very good, Daniela. Thank you. So this is an activity we don't do. We never drink alcohol, okay? Then we have the last example. Please listen to Luis. Luis, help me with example 4.
She usually eats junk food.
Nice job. Okay, as you can see, 2 important things. Number 1, we are using the frequency adverbs after the subject and before the verb. Number 2, remember, since we are using simple present, we have to use the rules of simple present in third person. For example, in example number 2, we are talking about he, so the verb is does, not do. He hardly ever do exercise, incorrect, okay? He does. He hardly ever does. So we still have to use the rules in third person, okay? Let's continue practicing and check the next one. Example number 4, or sentence number 4. She, and we say eats, okay? She eats junk food. How often? She usually eats junk food. Okay, so we are talking about, remember, simple present and frequency adverbs. The only thing that we add is the frequency adverb in a sentence in simple present. Then, as you can see in our examples in this part, we still have to use the rules in third person in simple present. Okay, so let's listen to our examples right now. Okay, I want to listen to some of you. Tell me one example, but I want to listen to you telling me something that you sometimes do. For example, I sometimes, let me think about it. Oh, I sometimes watch videos on my computer. I don't like watching videos on my computer because I don't use my computer too much, okay, too much time. But I sometimes watch videos on my computer. What about you, Luis? What is something that you sometimes do?
I sometimes go to the park with my kids.
Okay, really nice. So you sometimes go. What about you, Fernando?
I sometimes go to the park.
Okay, also you sometimes go to the park. Same as Luis, you sometimes go to the park. That's pretty cool. What about you, Daniela?
I sometimes watch the series on my computer.
Okay, you sometimes watch series on your computer. Great example, okay? As you can see, okay, we can talk about activities that we sometimes do. So we repeat it, but not very often, okay? So sometimes, so maybe 3 times a week or sometimes a week or a month. Now, after these exercises or this part, let's check our next examples. These are also frequency adverbs. They are not very common or, well, when we are talking about adverbs of frequency, it's not very common, but they are also frequency adverbs. So let's pay attention to it. Please, Daniela, read these examples, okay? Once and continue.
Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, etc.
Etc.
That's all?
Very good. Yes, that's all. Thank you. So as you see, okay, we have these are the frequency adverbs or prepositions of time that we can use. As you see, we have once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, etc. because we can use time or times, in this case, I'm sorry, times with different numbers, okay? So with different opportunities or with different number of opportunities, okay? If we are talking about once, we are talking about
Can't
one.
hear you.
Oh my
You're
gosh, let me see.
slow.
Can you hear me right now?
You have a lag.
Yes, yes.
Oh my.
Yes.
Okay, I'm really sorry, guys. My internet is okay. Is not working very well today, but thank you for letting me know. Okay, if you didn't listen, if you don't listen to me very well, guys, let me know and I can repeat it one more time. There is no problem. Okay, if we use once, remember we are talking about one opportunity or one time. If we use twice, we are talking about 2 times. Then, as you see, when we talk about times, we are talking about the number of opportunities we do something. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and more, okay? And in this case, as you see, we can use different times, different times. For example, we can use hour, we can use they, we can use week, we can use month, we can use year, and etc. Okay, these are the common ones. Okay, for example, tell me something you do once a day. Remember to use the articles a or an depending on the word. Okay, if we are using, remember if the next word is a consonant sound, we use a. If the next word is a vowel sound, we use an, okay? For example, what is something that you do one time or once a day? What do you think, Fernando? What is an activity you do once a day?
And maybe once a day I take a shower.
Excellent. That's one activity that we do once a day. Sometimes we do it twice, okay? Sometimes. So it's not an activity that we do or maybe, okay? It depends on the work you have or the activities you do in your day, okay? But, okay, I take a shower once a day, right? I take a shower. In this case, we use once, twice, and times at the end of the sentence. Okay, so we use the sentence as normal, and then we use the frequency word or the preposition of time. Let's see. Tell me right now, what is something you do twice a year? Remember, twice a year. What do you think, Daniela? What is something you do twice a year?
I have a meeting with also, I don't know, with I don't know. In English, odontologo,
Odontologo, maybe the dentist?
dentist. I go to the dentist. I go twice
Or remember,
a year.
at the end of the sentence.
I didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
I go to the dentist twice a year.
Very good. Okay, so when we use these prepositions of time, remember, when we use the adverbs of frequency like always, never, usually, sometimes, hardly ever, so we use it in the middle, okay? But when we are talking about these prepositions of time, often, twice, three times, four times, and etc., so we use it at the end of the sentence, okay? At the end of the sentence. So very good. Okay, that's a good activity. So that you do twice a year. So 2 times in 1 year. You go to the dentist. So fortunately, you go only twice, okay? I have to go many times because of the braces, but you go twice a year. That's a great activity. Now, what is something you have to do or you can do once in a year or once a year? What do you think, Luis? What is something you do once a year?
I go to a Christmas party once a year.
Okay, perfect. You go to a Christmas party because we celebrate Christmas only once in a year, of course. Okay, so as you see, we use, okay, in this case, everybody, we are using these prepositions of time to talk about the also the frequency of an activity. Then we have 3 more examples. Let's pay attention to Daniela. Okay, Daniela, help me with example number 1.
With once.
Number 1.
Number one. What is one?
You
You practice. Sorry, you practice sport once a week.
Very good. Okay, so, well, that's an example. So this person, so you practice sports 1 time in a week. Okay, so once in a week. Very good. Fernando, help me with the next example.
Okay, the kids eat pizza twice a month.
Very good. So if they have money, okay, so they can eat pizza twice a month. Very good. Next example,
Yeah.
Luis. Next example, Luis.
A
We
little
have
Caesar maybe.
we have to eat fruits 3 times a day.
Very good. Okay, so this is advice, everybody. We have to, okay, we have to eat fruits 3 times a day. Okay, so as you see, these are some examples using these prepositions of time. Once a week, twice a month, 3 times a day, and so on, everybody. As you see, we can use these time expressions with these prepositions of time. Remember, if we are talking about the frequency or the repetition of some activities, we can use these words, okay? Now, let's move to something important. When do we use the frequency adverbs, everybody? We use the frequency adverbs, so in an easiest way, everybody, we use it when we answer the question, how often? So remember, anytime we have the question, how often, we have to use frequency adverbs or prepositions of time like once, twice, and times. Okay, so let's see this. We have the subjects, we have the frequency adverbs, and the last part are the verb. And with letter S if it is in third person about he, she, or it. Okay, now let's pay attention to some questions using how often. Okay, we have also 3 examples. Please help me with the first one, Luis.
How often do they go to the gym? Usually.
Very good. What could be the complete sentence, Luis? What do you think?
Um, I don't know. They
Okay,
go usually. No, usually they go. No, I don't know.
okay, you don't remember. Let's remember this. Okay, oops, I'm sorry. It's the next part. Okay, remember, this is the structure. Subject, frequency adverb and verb. So remember subject, frequency adverb, and the verb and the complement, of course. Okay, so tell me, Luis, what do you think is the answer? How often
Oh.
do they go to the gym?
They usually go to the gym.
Very good. They usually go to the gym. Nice job. Oops, I have one extra E. Very good. They usually go to the gym. Now, what about the second example, Daniela?
How often does she talk to work? Walk. Dije talk. Walk.
Oh yeah, walk, walk. So what is the answer?
She always to the work.
She always
Walk to the work.
walk to work. Like this?
This. Sorry?
Like this? Are you sure?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, thank you. But let's see, Fernando, is the sentence correct?
Uh, I guess Wolf should have S.
Why? Why letter S?
Maybe, but maybe because it's a third person.
Okay, very good. So, letter S, what do you think, Daniela? Letter S or no letter S?
Yes, it's true.
Why?
Because when I use she, he, or it, the verbs are the S, or we use auxiliary.
Okay, yeah, that's right. As you can see, okay, since we are using simple present, we have to use letter S for he, she, or it, or the other rules, of course. So letters ES or letters IES, okay, according with the rules. But in this opportunity, only letter S. So what is the sentence, Daniela?
She always walks to the work.
Nice, okay, very good. Then we have our last example. Please, Fernando, tell me what is example number 3?
How often do you sleep 8 hours? And the response maybe is I hardly ever sleep 8 hours. And
Okay,
and I feel identified with this.
Okay, so a real life example, okay? A real life example. So I hardly ever sleep 8 hours. Thank you for your answers, everybody. So as you see, okay, we have the frequency adverbs in parentheses, but that is not a complete answer. Of course, we have to practice complete sentences. That's why we practice the complete sentences in the answer. We can use always, usually, or hardly ever, and no sentence. Yes, guys, but since we are learning English, we have to practice complete sentences. So practice complete sentences. And that's what we are going to do today. Everybody. Okay, so everybody, let's go to our next activity. Please, let's practice the following questions. Right now, we have to practice speaking, okay, different questions. So to start with this, everybody, please write hello on the chat. The last person is my volunteer. Write hello on the chat. Hello, Luis. Dun, 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 dun. Fernando, that's good. Hi. So I'm sorry, Daniela, but you are the last one, okay? Because Luis wrote hello and Fernando, hi. Okay, Daniela, you will be my first volunteer and I will ask you about how often do you drink coffee?
I never drink coffee.
Really? You never drink coffee? Why
I
not?
don't like it. I don't like it.
So what do you prefer? Instead of coffee, what do you drink?
I drink tea.
Chamomile tea.
Sorry?
Chamomile tea?
Camel. What is camel?
Oh, it's manzanilla.
Ah, yes. Or
That's
for flowers, or other flowers. I don't know how is the
okay.
name.
Other different kind of flowers, okay? The ones with the ones that you can prepare in a tea. So very good. Thank you, Daniela. Now let's listen to Fernando, okay? Same question for you, Fernando. How often do you drink coffee?
Um, I usually drink coffee twice a day. The first one in the morning and the second one in the evening.
Okay, that's something really good. So you drink coffee? Well, you usually drink coffee twice a day. Okay, well, that's a good quantity. I was about to ask you, how many cups do you drink in a day? But that's a great answer. Thank you, Fernando. Now, Luis, what about you? How often do you drink coffee?
I always drink coffee.
Excellent. How many cups do you drink?
Usually one in a day, just in the morning, but sometimes I drink twice a day.
Okay, that's something fine. So one and two, I guess it's something normal, right? But if you
Yep.
drink four, five, well, I usually do it, but okay, that's not something good for your health. In this case, for your health, it's delicious because I really love coffee, but the problem is that it's not good for health. Okay, that's a really good problem. Okay, that's a real problem. Okay, now let's continue with our next question. Okay, we will start. Daniela, Luis, or Fernando. Pick someone.
Luis.
Luis. Okay, so we continue with Luis. Luis, tell me, how often do you play chess?
I hardly ever play chess.
Okay, you hardly ever. Do you, okay, can you play chess? I
Yes, I
mean,
can.
do you know the
I can.
rules?
Yes, I know the rules.
Well, that's something really nice. So thank you for sharing. What about Daniela? How often do you play chess?
Mm, hardly ever. I hardly ever play chess.
Okay, and do you know the rules?
No.
No,
I
okay, so
play
that's
with my brother. He know the rules, but I don't know.
okay, so he knows, well, at least you have someone who knows the rules, okay? In my case, I don't know, maybe I would play checkers with this with the chess. Instead of playing chess, I would play checkers. Okay? Thank you for sharing, Daniela. What about you, Fernando? How often do you play chess?
And I hardly ever play chess because I don't I don't know how to play it, and I would like to learn, but
Okay, that's something good. Have you ever tried playing online? I mean, on the computer or something like that, or on the cell phone?
yeah, but it's confusing for me because I don't know all the rules.
Okay, yeah. At the beginning, it's kind of difficult because of it. But then you get used to play like that. Okay, maybe well online. Yeah, in real life, I guess it's more difficult. But okay, you have that opportunity, okay, to play in a cell phone or on the computer. Well done. Now, Fernando, we start with you with our next question. Tell me, how often do you go swimming?
And maybe I sometimes go to swimming.
Well done. Okay, that's a good answer. Where do you go swimming?
in a aquatic park or
Nearby
in
your house?
sorry, what?
Is the aquatic part or the water park near to your house?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Which one?
Ay, no sé cómo decir. Está a 15 minutos en carro. No sé.
So it's 15 minutes by car.
Okay, it's 15 minutes by car.
Okay, well, that's something good. Which park is it?
Well, I from La Union, you remember? And
Okay,
yeah, its name is Aqua Park.
aqua park. Well, I don't know
Yeah,
about it. I will look it on my cell phone later. Okay, so aqua park.
it, it's its location is street La Union to San Miguel.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for letting me know about the location of it. And is it a natural park or not?
Eh, ¿A qué se refiere? No, no entendí.
I mean, is it natural or the pools are built?
Oh yeah, pools.
Okay, okay. Thank you for
But
letting me know.
in this place, you can find animals and others uh, algunos eventos y animaciones. No, no.
Also, they have events. Well, that's something great. Thank you for the info, Fernando. Let's continue now. Thank you for it. What about you, Daniela? How often do you go swimming?
I occasionally go swim
You occasionally go swimming. Uh, where do you swim or where do you go swimming?
in a pool that one familiar have. I don't know.
Well, that's something good. Okay, so you have, well, your family has a pool. Well, that's really good. Incredible. Luis, what about you? How often do you go swimming?
I go swimming few times a year,
Okay, so when was the last time you went
like
swimming?
like 3 or 4 times a year. Um,
Really?
last time was in December.
Okay,
Yes.
so it's not well, it's not a long time ago, right? Like 2 or 3 months, kind of. Okay, pretty good.
Yes.
Thank you. And guys, can you swim well? Can you swim well or a little bit? Well,
A little bit.
a little bit. What about you, Fernando?
I don't drown. That's enough.
Okay,
A little bit also.
a little bit. What about you, Daniela?
What is the question, please?
Oh, can you swim well or a little bit well?
Well,
Well, okay, that's nice. Thank you. Well, guys, because of the time, we will practice the last question and the next questions you will practice at home, okay? So now, tell me, how often do you have pizza? Tell me, please, Luis, how often do you have pizza?
I hardly ever have pizza.
Really? Okay, so what do you prefer instead of pizza?
Mexican food.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Okay, so you prefer Mexican food. Thank you. What about
Yes,
you for... Uh-huh.
yes, and in my house, my parents like Chinese, so that's the two options.
Okay, so you, well, you, give me a second. You eat more Mexican and Chinese food than pizza. That's nice.
Yes, yes,
So, well, actually, those are great, um, great choices. So Mexican and Chinese, it's I guess it's the most delicious food I have ever tried. Okay, and in Salvadorian food, of course. Pupusas are the best. Okay, Fernando, what about you? How often do you eat pizza, or do you have pizza?
Maybe I usually eat pizza once a week.
Once a week. Wow, Fernando. So
Yeah.
4 times a month. That's really good.
A little pizza, right?
Okay, but that's something nice. Okay, so delicious, really delicious. What about you, Daniela? How often do you have pizza?
I hardly ever eat pizza.
Oh, okay, you hardly ever eat. So what do you prefer instead of pizza? Or what do you eat instead of pizza?
I prefer pupusa.
Pupusas, yes, okay, so pupusas are always a great option, okay? Thank you for sharing. Guys, after this practice, we are going to move to another activity. It's about, well, it's also about the correct order of sentences using the frequency adverbs. I'm not pretty sure if we will finish. If we don't finish, don't worry, guys. You will have the presentation. And yes, guys, I will send you the presentation today. So you can continue practicing with these examples. Let's see. The first sentence, the words are, always does Sunday make on day breakfast. So what do you think is the correct sentence? Okay, right now, take 20 seconds to think about the right answer. What do you think is the correct answer? Okay, let's see. If you have the example, tell me. What do you think? Okay, ladies first. Daniela, what do you think? I'm sorry. So what do you think is the correct sentence?
I think is, I don't know. They always, or yes, they always uh, take take breakfast on Sunday. I don't
Okay,
know.
they always make, remember, make breakfast
Make breakfast on Sunday.
on Sunday. Okay, let's see. Okay, very good. But one word is missing. Remember, we have to use all the words. So we have to use the.
The is make the breakfast.
Okay, they always make the breakfast on Sunday. Of course, Daniela, that's correct. Okay, so claps for you. Excellent order of the sentence. Now, Luis and Fernando, you have time to think about number 2 and 3. So let's listen right now to Fernando. Okay, Fernando, example number 2. We have friends, place, they with she here in Open Park. So what do you think is the correct sentence number 2, Fernando?
Number two.
Yes.
She often plays uh, with her friends in the park.
Okay, very good. So in the park, period. Okay, nice job. That's the correct sentence. She often plays with her friends in the park. Well, Luis, what is the next example, number 3?
He never makes his bed.
Thank you. So he never makes,
Makes.
I'm sorry, his bed. Well
Yes.
done. Okay. Well, we have 3 correct sentences, guys. You are doing an amazing job. Listen now to, okay, Luis, example 4.
Okay, let me see. Uh, we sometimes play cards. No, 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 no. We sometimes uh, play cards on the Sunday. On Sunday, sorry.
Play cards on Sunday. Are you sure, Luis?
Yes.
Yes, of course. So as you can see, guys, in this sentence, we are using the grammar or the vocabulary that we learned. So play and cards on day of the week. Okay, so pretty good. Let's continue. Now, Fernando, what is example 5?
Uh, they hardly ever uh, they hardly ever watch the TV in afternoon.
They hardly ever watch the TV in
In afternoon.
afternoon. Okay, very good. Thank you for your example, Fernando. Are you sure about the sentence?
I guess.
You guess. Okay. Yes, but we have to move this word. So, the TV? No. Watch TV. Okay, so where can we put the?
Okay, they hardly ever watch TV in the afternoon.
In the afternoon. Very, oh my gosh, what happened? Okay, so pretty good. They hardly ever watch TV in the afternoon. Okay, very good example. Now to finish with this activity because we don't have more time. Daniela, what is example 6?
I always get up. I always get up at 7 o'clock.
Very good, excellent sentence. I always get up at 7 o'clock. Well, guys, we don't have more time, so I will send you the presentation and you can practice with sentence 7, 8, 9, and 10, okay? For you to continue practicing and using the frequency adverbs. Right now, let's move on to our last activity. Guys, what is the homework that we have to complete? Please do the following activities. 3.2.4, 3.2.5, and the last two activities, guys, doesn't have number. I don't know why. Not tienen número, guys, but ordering words and how often. Okay? Please, guys, complete these activities and continue working and practicing your English. It was a pleasure to see you this week, everybody. Today also was a pleasure for me to see you. Please continue practicing, and I hope to see you on Monday. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye. Happy weekend.
Same for you guys. Have a good
Bye.
weekend
See you soon.
and good night.